Good job he did. Hillary Kipkoech took them through to 30 kilometres, right through to the City Council Square as the runners now.
So they'll be getting some great information from the lead vehicles in front. They know they are way inside course record pace, but they also know that there's a chance of a world record. So there is a very healthy prize pot for that. It is a prize money for obviously winning, but yeah, for breaking the world record, Richard. It's a nice amount to be taken home.
Yeah, winner's prize at Valencia is relatively small compared to the big city marathons. I mean, 30,000 euros is small compared with, say, what was on offer in New York a few weeks ago, 100,000 US, and in Chicago, 75,000. But the runners come here not just for the winner's prize, they come here for fast times. Some of them might be on bonuses. There's Seaside Lemmer, best time 2:03.36 from Berlin 4 years ago. They ran the last kilometre in 2:55, so slightly slower. The 30th kilometre before the pacemaker dropped out was 2:49, and then the 31st kilometre 2:55, and it's now Dawid Waldy, 32 years of age, best time of 2:04.27. He's the one who's gone to the front, ran his best time in Rotterdam 2 years ago when he finished third. He's got 10 marathons already behind him, so it's Dawid Waldy who is out in front, and just in the space of a few minutes, Candy looks not quite as comfortable as when he took the lead.
Waldy, I think this is one of her first races under her Spanish nationality that she could obliterate that national record and book her place in the Olympic team in the summer. So great to see. I always feel a little bit calmer when I see the runners get their bottles, Richard, in the latter stages, and especially when you've got three running at the quality pace that we've got on the screen. Waldy, Lemmer and Candy, and now it's Candy who's starting to struggle a little bit. He's a little bit deceptive in sometimes. He's such a strong, powerful, smooth runner, but he does seem to sometimes just step off the pace slightly, and on cue he comes back to this leading trio. But Waldy looks really good, Richard, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think this is a very tough part of the race for them. They ran the 5 kilometres from 20. It's Walkenish Degefer who has opened up a 10-metre lead as they head into the final 10 kilometres. And in the men's race, well, look at this. Seaside Lemmer has really put his foot down, and he's the one who has opened up a lead. Seaside Lemmer, very experienced marathoner, keeps looking at his watch as he's done for most of this race. He's opened up a 20-metre lead over compatriot Dawid Waldy in second place, and it's Kibiwot Candy, the less experienced marathon runner, running his third marathon here in Valencia, who is starting to struggle now. 35 kilometres. They are just outside world record pace, but still inside course record pace. Remember, course record set here last year by Kelvin Kiptum, 2:01.53.
And it is that strength of that 30 to 35 kilometre split of Kelvin Kiptum. So it does just show you that, there you go, 35 kilometres, 1 hour 40 and 41 seconds. So he is looking really good again. He was almost from the beginning, 53 seconds. And he also will have half an eye on that Ethiopian national record as well. And Seaside Lemmer looks like he's increased his lead. Difficult to tell from that camera shot, but it looks around about the 100-metre mark. So this will be now starting to sting, there's no doubt about that. And there, just a little bit of his pedigree. It would take about 3 or 4 slides to do this man's marathon CV justice. But, probably that highlight at 2021 London Marathon win. Second in Prague this year, again was impressive there. Only Musso coming out ahead of him, but he's just so consistent. And
then come under the arch, Porta del Mar, and then head back down towards the City of Arts and Sciences. So just over 3 kilometres to run for Cisai Lemma, looking still very, very good. Has won 3 of his 24 marathons, London, Ljubljana and Frankfurt.
Or whether there's anything that can happen from behind, Richard. These are the real tough stages of the marathon.
Brilliant running by Cisai Lemma. He's still on target for a course record. We didn't really expect to see Lemma attacking Kelvin Kiptum's course record from last year, but his last 3 kilometre splits, 2:52, 2:52, 2:53, still looking good, and that's why he's opened up this massive lead over Walde. It's well over 150, maybe even 200 metres. Gone through 38 kilometres in 1:49.16, just approaching, actually, sorry, through 39 kilometres now, so less than
3 kilometres. So this is going to really now start to become a bit tough, unless he obviously can find a
about 2 kilometres from the finish. So Cisai Lemma with probably about 6 minutes, under 6 minutes of running left as he heads back down towards Gulliver's Garden and this final mile and a bit run into the City of Arts and Sciences. Great crowds out in the streets.
And look at that, the course record is way under threat here, 1 hour, 55 minutes and 12 seconds. So on our calculations, 26 seconds inside course record pace, but needs to close this out now. So it was 6 minutes and 12 seconds, or 6 minutes and 14 seconds, I should say, which was 14 minutes and 11 pace in terms of 5K split by Kelvin Kiptum 12 months ago. So that's for the 2.195 kilometres from that 40 kilometre split. So it's going to be very, very close, but I think he's operating at a fast enough time for that. So a 6:29 would bring him there inside the Ethiopian national record and inside that course record time. So Cisai Lemma is heading towards a 2:01 clock in. That is phenomenal running.
Yeah, he slowed slightly in the last 2 Ethiopian national record. Qananisa's national record, 2:01.41 under threat. And this is the section you can see with lots of trees, the garden route alongside the river El Rio, which is the piece of road that will bring them back into this amazing setting for the finish around the hemisphere in the City of Arts and Sciences. And it's Lemma still looking good, working very, very hard, but through 41 kilometres.
And if he does break Qananisa's Bekile's Ethiopian record, he would be the 3rd fastest runner of all time. Obviously, Kelvin Kiptum sits at top of the tree. Eliud Kipchoge 2:01.09 in Berlin in 2022. So this would, or is, one of the best performances of all time on the streets right now. The Valencia Marathon, Trinidad Alfonso 2023, and we are just around about 80 seconds away from the 2-hour mark. So he is into the very last mile on the course. Cisai Lemma, the 32-year-old decorated marathon runner. He looked the best from the beginning of the race, the aggressor from the beginning, and now he's really taken it to them over the second half of this race.
Yeah, faster time of the year so far was set by Kiptum in Chicago. That was the world record. And the second fastest time this year, also by Kiptum in London in April. Well, Lemmer, he might be on course for the third fastest running time this year. Looking very good. 800 metres left. Lemmer in sight of the start-finish arena. He'll come down onto the blue carpet with just over 400 metres to run. So he can see the hemisphere in front of him. There's the 700 metre mark. The last 100 metres, last 700 metres all marked out in 100 metres. Lemmer knows the victory is his.
It is, and we go to the 2 hour mark now. So you can see the pace is starting to drop very slightly, but he knows he's got 600 metres of running. This is a distance he would have run multiple times on the track, on the road. He'd have dreamed about this moment, and he would have obviously planned it out with his coach, with his agent, to get to Valencia in the best possible shape. It was clear from the beginning of the race that that was the case, and the very welcome sign of the 400 metres to go mark. So on the track, that would be signalled by the bell. Here, he gets the applause of the spectators on the course side. So he can now enjoy the very best marathon runners in the world. He can enjoy this moment. It's going to be a new course record here in Valencia. It's going to be the third fastest time, or he's going to become the third fastest runner of all time, taking the Valencia Marathon Trinidad Alfonso title for 2023. Is going to be the 32-year-old Ethiopian Sise Lemmer. He looks absolutely delighted to be coming down towards the line now. The crowd are making the noise. He's going to be just outside the Ethiopian national record. But the Valencia Marathon Trinidad Alfonso champion for 2023 is Sise Lemmer. What a run.
What a run, and a new course record, and we certainly didn't expect that coming into this race. Lemmer being congratulated by another Ethiopian, not quite sure who that is, but what a win for him, his fourth marathon victory. And look at this, it's Matiso who has come from behind. 300 metres to run for Matiso. Looks like he might have overhauled the other Ethiopian, David Walde, but Sise Lemmer absolutely delighted to take victory here. New course record. And it does look as though it's the Kenyan, Alexander Matiso, who was third last year, has come from behind to take second spot. Matiso ran 2:03.38, so he's inside his best time, just outside 2 hours and 3 minutes. Great run by Matiso, Mr. Consistent, as his manager Davor Savija calls him. Great run for Matiso to finish second.
Yeah, that's a new lifetime best for him as well. Goes one spot higher on the podium. Moved from third last year to second this year, and that's a really, really good run. As you said, Richard, so consistent. And David Walde there, the second of the Ethiopians. And he also will be rewarded with a new lifetime best performance. And I don't know what's happened to Kiwat Candy, because he was there until the latter stages as Walde just about makes it over the finishing line. That's how tough it is out there. But Sise Lemmer crossing the line in a new course record here at the Valencia Marathon Trinidad Alfonso. As Guy won't be as high as second as he was last year, but again, another really consistent run by the Tanzanian. And look at this, a new World Masters record by Quennisa Bekele, 2 hours and 4 minutes. That's phenomenal.
That is phenomenal. 41 years of age. Qananisa Bekele finishes 4th in the Valencia Marathon. What a run by one of the greatest of all time, Qananisa Bekele. There's Kibiwot Kandi, who's obviously struggled over the last few kilometres of the race. It was a very, very punishing